Good morning, children. It's snowy outside today, but I'm thinking of spring, and I'm going to plant some tomatoes that Mr. Russ selected to grow in his greenhouse. The whole entire greenhouse is going to be full of tomatoes. So we bought two kinds. Climbers, or climbing tomatoes, they will grow way high, up high. And these are climbers too, but they're cherry tomatoes, and they will be just little tiny tomatoes that you can pop in your mouth. I always keep things organized, so I have the tomato bags and I have labeled what is in each bag. I always keep a marker in my planting box and scissors too. Miss Jamie and Mr. Tim and Miss Rachel and Mr. Dan and Mr. Russ and I all filled many of these little cups to plant tomatoes in and other plants that we're going to grow in our greenhouse first. And we wet down the soil like this, and I will put the seeds in eventually, but first I'm going to get them really nice and growing. I would like to show you some other things that we're doing on the farm. Here are some beautiful chicken eggs. Our beautiful chickens lay these lovely eggs every day, and we have them for breakfast and use them in cooking. We have duck eggs too, but there's no duck eggs in here because the mommy ducks are sitting on the duck eggs to hatch them, and we are going to have lots of baby ducks around here. We don't just grow things outside, we grow things inside too. Look at all these sprouts. We have a sprouting jar that has holes in it, and we have them set on a little ring in these pans, and we wash them twice a day. And then we put them in our salad. I just had some yesterday and they were so delicious. And here's sunflower sprouts that Mr. Dan started for us. First, he soaked the little seeds in a bowl of water overnight, and then he spread them on a pan of dirt, and they just grow up so fast, and they are so delicious. Some of you may remember how we used to grow them at the school, and you would come and pick them and eat them. And you know, you can buy these black oil sunflower seeds at Tractor Supply, about $18 for 40 pounds of seeds. That way you can have greens in your diet, all of the nutrition in this one little sprout, even when it's winter and when you're not able to grow things outside. So I hope you'll try some of these. And these are the orchids that Mr. Russ grows for me. They're so beautiful. They really cheer me up on a snowy day. And there's a lily at the end. And then there is the first tomatoes I'm going to plant are these Cherokee Purple. You can see from the picture that they grow a big tomato that is really juicy and yummy, so it's one of my favorites. Now I'm going to take my scissors and cut open the package. I see there's so many seeds in there, and I don't want to use them all because look how many, and I still have so many left in there. So I have my tape handy, and I'm going to close this up to use next year probably. I always like to save some seeds for next year. Now usually when I'm starting seeds I put a paper towel down, but these little guys, they like to stick to paper towels, and then it's really hard to get them off. So I'm just going to spread them apart And in this jar I have water. This spray bottle, I have water with just a little bit of hydrogen peroxide. And I'm gonna squirt them. Oh yeah, they like that water. That's what gets their little tiny computer inside them, telling them that it is time to start to grow. There's water. And then to keep that water in there, I'm just gonna slip them inside this gallon bag that I have labeled tomato yellow pear. And I'm gonna squirt them a few times a day, and the water will evaporate and be on top of the bag, so they're gonna think they're in the rainforest and they're gonna love it. The next seeds I'm gonna plant are, look at these, yellow pear tomatoes. Aren't those cool? My mother-in-law used to grow these, and so whenever I see one or eat one, I think of her and what a loving, kind woman she was. So I'm gonna scatter these around, and I might save that package for a marker, a garden marker. Squirt, squirt, squirt. It's raining on you, little seeds. Okay, now I'm going to slip them inside their bag. Whoops, I see something funny. I got my bags mixed up. Wow, it's good I noticed. This is not yellow pear. This is Cherokee purple. This is yellow pear. That would have been very confusing if I wouldn't have caught that mistake. There you go, yellow pear. There you go, baby Cherokee purple. You will grow bigger than me someday. And now the last one, I usually buy seeds that are not hybrid because I like to save my seeds. But I couldn't resist this one. It's called Sweet Million. It grows lots of tiny, tiny little tomatoes. So many that the branches of the tomato plant are heavy with them. So I thought I would try them. This is a foil bag made with a little bit of metal. About the same size, but not so many seeds. Probably because everybody likes these so much, they sell them very fast. And every one of these little tiny seeds is going to get a little white root coming out. And when it gets that little white root coming out, I will pick it up and carefully plant it in one of my pots. And don't worry, I'm not going to let these dry out. In fact, they're not going to take up very much room at all on my counter because I stack them. Mr. Dan says a little darkness makes the root grow faster, and I like that. Now I'm really happy that I have my little baby seed nursery going. I know that I will not be planting any seed that is not going to grow. I kind of had a problem with that last year, so this year I'm going to check out and make sure every seed is going to grow before I put it in dirt. I really hope that you find something that you can plant. I'll bet you have some seeds around your house, maybe in your spice cupboard or your pantry. And of course there's still seeds in the stores like Tractor Supply and Walmart that you can buy. And you might say, well, I don't have any of these trays, but you don't need them. Look, I can poke a hole in the bottom of this, and you could too with your parents' help. And then I could fill it with dirt about up to there, And then I could stick my sprouted seed in there and put it on a plate or tray so I can watch it carefully. And then something will grow up. Maybe a sunflower or maybe a squash or melon. And when it's about this tall, if it's a melon or squash, you can plant it in the ground. Even if it's when it's just this tall, you can plant the tomato seeds in the ground. So I'm really excited for you. I hope you have fun planting something with your mom and dad in your own garden.